right, are we ready to compare this? We're gonna compare old to new to live. Let's see who does it better. Who do you got your money on? Write it down below. Who you think sang Poor Unfortunate Souls best. And then you can't change your mind. You can't change your mind as we go through this. That's the deal, okay?
I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch.
Nice little haze.
Nowadays, I've mended all my ways. Repentance in the light and made a switch. True. Yes.
Okay, setting the bar high, baby. Setting that bar high. Melissa, love it. God, there's just so much of me every time I hear it that I'm like, oh, thank God. Because it could have been really bad. So good. So we've got a leading in, I admit that in my life I've been a nasty. It's got this heavy, deep haze kind of crackly sound, and then she's choosing certain words that she's breaking her voice to give it a little extra kick to it.
That in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch.
Little thought process there. Here.
Nowadays, I've mended all my
Little break.
ways. Repentance in the light and made a switch. True. Yes.
And then back down to that creepiness.
I admit that in the past I've been a nasty.
So much lighter.
They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch. True, yes.
She almost seems happy. How is that even? I don't even remember her feeling happy at all. But when you compare the two together, she seems happy. And she actually fell behind rhythm, tempo, just a little bit. Listen, she hangs back a little.
No one else to turn to. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch.
Here.
But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways.
Yeah, but you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways. She goes, but you'll find that nowadays I've mended. She leans back on that rhythm and she goes a little bit slower, but so much lighter of a placement. All right, Broadway time.
No one else to turn to. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch. True, yes.
She almost seems like the Joker, you know? Just like, true, yes. Again, staying with the happier feel. Staying with the brighter, I'm a little bit kooky. She's definitely going on the crazy end of things, but not nearly as deep or heavy placed as Melissa's. But for some reason, I remembered, you tell me, you guys, like, those of you that are a little bit older and you were raised with The Little Mermaid, don't you remember Ursula being like this deep, heavy, dark voice, like really creepy? But just watching the original, it's not like that at all. But it's almost like Melissa had the same idea and she brought that into her voice. I'm shocked. I had it totally programmed differently in my brain.
And I fortunately know a little magic.
Yeah, she's definitely got crazy eyes.
I always have possessed. And here lately, please don't laugh. I use it on the Please don't laugh. It's very different in her placement, in her delivery. She's going with more of a character with attitude and a little bit crazy, but not deep and dark at all. And it's almost very spoken. There's not a lot of singing behind these sections here, but also not a lot of creepy character as well. All right, and it wouldn't be the same without her. We gotta get her. Queen Latifah, baby.
That in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch to this.
Did she say Glees? Or was that yes?
Find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch to this.
True this? True this? I thought it was supposed to be yes. I don't know. This key that she's singing in right now is too low. It's too low for her and you can hear it. I've mended all my ways. She's having trouble with these low notes and then as soon as she hits the high notes, she's much happier.
To find that nowadays I've mended all my ways.
Yeah.
Repented, seen the light, and made
and then she hits this.
To thee.
then she feels higher and better there.
And I fortunately know a little man.
Ah, see? It's no wonder why she just went a little higher there, because she's uncomfortable in those lows.
It's a talent that I always have possessed. And dear lady, please you know.
You guys know, those of you who watch my channel, you know what I'm about to point out. Her swallowing. She swallowed. When you see a singer who you think is struggling even a little bit and you watch them swallow, they are resetting their vocal cords. A lot of singers do this and they actually don't even notice that they do it because it's just kind of a natural thing. What happens, it means that her vocal cords are in a position that they don't want to be in. They're uncomfortable. She's singing too low, too heavy, forcing it in a position that it doesn't want to be in. So then when she goes to shift, after she's done shifting, she has to swallow. When she swallows, it forces the vocal cords back into their natural resting position. That's where they want to go. You're going to swallow, it's going to relax, and then she's going to shove it back into the position that it doesn't want to be in again.
To these, and I fortunately know a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed. And dear lady, please don't laugh.
Yep. Did you see that? That's her resetting. That's her it's just too low.
And I fortunately know a little magic.
And that's probably why they brought the key up on this one, which is like, it just makes sense. It makes sense. Put it in the key that's comfortable for that singer. There you go.
It's a talent that I always have possessed.
That's my favorite part.
And here lately, please don't laugh, I use it on behalf of the miserable, lonely, and depressed, pathetic.
Why are we even trying to compare anyone? Because like, that's just, it's just so good. It's just so good. Sorry, I just made you look up my nose. And it's all like, my apologies. Just the haze and the way that she pulls on the vocals there and then she hangs over the end. There's so much, and she shifts from character to singing to character to singing. There's so many layers. I'm like moving my chair. I'm moving all over. This is what happens when you get me doing reactions and I'm sitting down and I'm excited. Like, this is just so freaking good. So freaking good. Makes me happy.
And I fortunately know a little magic.
Seems so happy.
It's a talent that I always have possessed. And here lately, please don't laugh. I use it on behalf of the miserable, lonely, and depressed. Pathetic.
Okay, little bit of similarity between pathetic. A little bit, but I use it on behalf instead of I use it on behalf, as Melissa does this like growling slidey thing. This just seems so much lighter. I use it on behalf of the like, yay! Gosh, when you compare them, it changes everything. It just changes your whole perspective of this song.
Of the miserable, lonely, and depressed, pathetic, or unfortunate souls in pain.
Pathetic. It's like we are singing. And she does a lot of this. Is she Italian? Pathetic.
This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed.
Yes. It's just so happy and bright. She's definitely crazy. The original isn't quite as crazy. She's definitely got a little cuckoo going on in there, but it's also a lot lighter.
I use it on behalf of the miserable, lonely, and
Hear how hard that is?
pathetic.
She has trouble. What? She's trying to have attitude, but it just, I don't know.
In pain, in need.
Why did they choose her? That's what I want to know. Didn't they have her in Chicago, the movie, right? The movie musical, she was in it. And they changed the key on that one too. When You're Good to Mama, they changed that one. That's right. I don't know. Truthfully, this was a level that I thought Melissa McCarthy was going to come in as. I thought at this level where it's good, but it's not amazing. And Melissa, she proved me wrong.
This one longing to be thinner, this one wants to get the
She's
girl,
giving the
and
word.
do I help them? Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. I am making sure that I have this voice.
I don't like it. See, I don't like everything, you guys. I'm truthful. If you like Little Mermaid, then you need to come on over to my Patreon. On Patreon, I listened to the entire Little Mermaid album and I reacted to all of it. We broke it down. I got to check out all of the songs. It's over an hour long, so be sure to come on over for that. We also did the original Little Mermaid watch party with the screen, with audio, and when the new one comes out, that will definitely be up there and I will watch it for the first time with you guys. We also have weekly things like weekly Once Upon a Time, weekly Glee, weekly High School Musical, the musical series. There's tons of movie musicals, Disney musicals, Lin-Manuel Miranda musicals. There's so much stuff over there. So come hang out, grab your popcorn, hang out with me, watch some movies. Let's get behind the scenes of The Little Mermaid and enjoy it together. It's only $5 a month. I will be sure to link all of that down below.
Poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need.
God, it just sounds so different.
This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed.
Oh, yes, indeed. It's just lighter. Kind of like the vocal reaction that I did when I broke down the notes for Part of Your World. It felt like the original version was just easy, a little more Disney, a little bit lighter, a little bit gentle, definitely made more for kids.
Those poor unfortunate souls. So
Feels faster.
sad, so true. They come flocking to
Huh?
my call.
Huh? She did it again. So true. She swallowed. She's resetting. See, now you're never gonna not be able to see it. Whenever anyone sings, you're gonna be like, oh, she reset. Audrey told me. That means the vocal cords are uncomfortable.
Yes, indeed. Those poor unfortunate souls. So sad, so true. They come flocking to my call, crying, "Sales us and please," and I help them. Yes, I do.
Bills, please, do I help you? Yes, I do. I just feel like she's just trying too hard. It's just not a right fit. For me, personally, you tell me. I know there are some huge Queen Latifah fans out there that absolutely love her. And I'd like to know why, because I don't, but maybe you could point out something that I don't know. We're coming up to the end of this, people. It's voting time. I need to know down below. What did you start with was your favorite? And what is now your favorite? Is it the same? Did it change? I want to know.
Unfortunate soul.
See how she hangs off of it?
In need.
Right there. Poor unfortunate soul. Like, and then she switches in pain, in need. Like, there's so many dynamics going on in there.
Unfortunate souls in pain, in need. This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help him? Yes, indeed.
Oh my God, Melissa. I'm rooting. Like, holy shit.